she goes to museums with her daughters.
Nice. And, okay, I'm going to try to say, ¿cuántos años tiene tus niños?
¿Cuántos años tiene? Because
okay,
anos is
is
anus.
Is butthole, right? People have told me
She's
that
like
before.
one anus.
Oh, it's one anus. Okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Soy un gecko. I think that's how you say, hello, how are you doing? I am a gecko. I am here in Mexico City. I came here alone to be a gecko and talk to people. I've never been here before, but it's a nice place. And I'm excited to chat with folks who are here and be a gecko, too. Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?
Hola, soy Sandra.
Con el micrófono, por favor.
Hola, soy Sandra.
Mucho gusto, Sandra.
Igual, gracias.
I'm going to try to... ¿Qué haces hoy? What are you doing today? What are you doing about town?
Bueno, mi trabajo es barrer algún tramo asignado de la colonia en donde trabajo.
So she sweeps certain parts of towns of the place of town that she works in.
Okay. Es trabajo difícil, is it hard work?
¿Es difícil tu trabajo?
No, más bien es, bueno, si te gusta, lo haces con dedicación y pasión.
So it's not hard, and if you like it, you just do it with dedication and passion.
Oh, wow. So you have a lot of passion for your job.
¿Tienes mucha pasión para tu trabajo?
Sí, me gusta porque me gusta tener trato con la gente.
She likes to talk to people.
Huh.
¿Qué más?
Tratar con todo tipo de gente. Me gusta tener contacto, me gusta... este trabajo es muy, muy, muy noble, muy...
It's a very noble job, and she likes to talk to people.
Se adapta mucho como a tu condición.
It adapts a lot to your condition.
Wow. Interesting. Have you met a lot of interesting people doing your job?
¿Has conocido a gente interesante en tu trabajo?
Claro, incluso en esta zona hay mucho artista. Ahorita tengo, bueno, desde que yo llegué, yo tengo poco tiempo aquí, pero desde que yo llegué tuve la oportunidad de conocer a una catedrática de la universidad y me llevo excelente con ella.
So in this part of town, there's a lot of artists, so she's met a lot of interesting people, and she recently met a teacher from the National University, and she
Wow.
holds a really strong relationship with her.
Wow. Oh, you built a strong relationship with her. You guys stayed friends.
Son amigas, entonces.
Sí, convivimos de alguna manera el poco tiempo que voy a recolectar su basura o a barrerle su espacio. Nos ponemos a platicar temas de todo, política, cultura, familia, X, de todo.
So whenever she gets to work around where she lives, she goes to pick up her trash, and she also gets to have a conversation about culture, politics, or whatever they want to talk about.
That's great. So you must really like living here.
Te debe de gustar mucho vivir aquí, entonces.
Sí, claro, me gusta mucho, bueno, mi ciudad, pero aparte me gusta mucho mi trabajo.
She likes the city, but she also likes her job a lot.
What would you say is the most difficult part of your job?
¿Cuál es la parte más difícil de tu trabajo?
Yo creo que la parte más difícil es cuando vas a barrer. Ya después todo es muy fácil.
When you're actually gonna go sweep, that's the hardest part. But whenever you're there, it's a lot easier.
While you're sweeping, what are you thinking about?
Cuando estás
Does your
barriendo, ¿en
mind
qué
wander?
piensas? Como ¿hacia dónde se va tu cabeza?
Bueno, yo mentalizo que tengo un tramo que hacer y cumplo con él. Entonces mi expectativa del día es comenzar a hacer mi trabajo lo mejor posible y terminarlo para poder ir con mis clientes.
So whenever she's working, she thinks about how she has a certain part where she has to sweep, she has to finish that, and whenever she finishes that, she's going to be able to go with her clients. So she just mentalizes that goal that she has to finish that part of town that she has to sweep.
Okay. Cuando non trabajas, when you're not working, ¿qué quieres hacer? What do you like to do?
Bueno, cuando no trabajo estoy en casa, le dedico tiempo a mi familia, bueno, a mis hijas.
She's at home with her family, with her daughters.
Okay.
Salimos, no sé, a algún lado, algunas actividades dentro de casa o, por ejemplo, a mí me gusta mucho ir a los museos, entonces eso, perdón, Eso yo les he inculcado muchísimo a mis hijas y en ocasiones nos vamos a museos los domingos.
So she does a lot of activities outside and inside of her home, but
Nice.
also she really likes going to museums, and it's something that she likes to do with her daughters.
Nice.
So whenever she has that free time, she goes to museums with her daughters.
Nice. And okay, I'm going to try to say ¿Cuántos años tiene tus niños?
¿Cuántos años tiene? Because
okay,
años
años
is anus.
is bundle, right? People have told me
She's
that
like
before.
one anus.
Oh, it's one anus.
Tengo
Okay.
una chica de 24 años que está estudiando en la universidad, pedagogía, y tengo una niña de 15 años que estamos en espera del resultado para ver si logró quedarse en alguna prepa.
So she has a 24-year-old daughter that
wow,
studies
okay.
pedagogy, I think.
Yeah.
What would that be called? Like, she studies to teach class to do classes.
Yeah.
And she has a 15-year-old daughter, 15, ¿verdad?
Oh, okay.
That she's waiting for the results to see what high school she got into.
Oh, great.
Y Matías, que tiene 5 años, pero es mi nieto, 4 años.
Matías is her grandson, and he's 4 years old.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. How has your relationship with your kids evolved as they've gotten older?
¿Cómo ha cambiado tu relación con tus hijas desde que han crecido?
Muchísimo. Bueno, yo soy jefe de familia y bueno, todo esto es un proceso evolutivo y ellas crecen, entonces ahora ya es como muy diferente, incluso su nivel de estudios es muy diferente a mi nivel donde yo quedé y obviamente ellas me impulsan a saber de sus temas o de su escolaridad a sus niveles para poder yo entender lo que ellas hacen o estudian. En el caso de Matías es un niño con autismo. Entonces también ya nos estamos empapando en esa parte del autismo, qué es, cómo es, qué procesos lleva, cómo se debe de tratar. Entonces siempre vamos buscando como esa parte de
So
avanzar.
a lot. She's the head of her family, and all of her daughters have gotten an educational level that's higher than the one that she got to.
Oh, really?
So they have been able to teach her a lot about their different assignments and the things that
Really?
they learn. And her grandson has autism, so they also are learning a lot about what it means to have autism, like what the processes are, what the form of education is. So that's like something that has helped her learn a lot as well.
Interesting. So you're learning a lot from your daughters.
Entonces estás aprendiendo mucho de tus hijas.
Demasiado y pues
A lot.
con ellas tener la oportunidad de ver un panorama diferente, ¿no? De ver una expectativa de vida diferente.
She has had the opportunity to see a different panorama of life and also
Wow.
a different expectation of what life can be like.
That's great. When you say this different expectation of what life could be like, could you explain a little bit more what that is?
Que si nos puedes explicar un poco más acerca de a qué te refieres con expectativa, o sea, como con la expectativa de vida.
Bueno, que no te limites, que hay mucho por ejemplo Diana se llama la mayor, entonces yo le digo a mi hija que posiblemente la condición de Matías sea porque nosotros nacimos para una misión, entonces sobre el camino pues la vamos a descubrir.
So she thinks
Esa
like
es como la
you
expectativa que tenemos por el momento.
shouldn't limit yourself in like what your expectations of life are. And for example, she thinks that the fact that her grandson has autism is because they come to life with a certain purpose,
Sure.
and they're going to figure that out as he grows older to be able to help him as well.
That's wonderful. What do you think is the most important thing you've learned from your daughters?
¿Qué crees que es lo más importante que has aprendido de tus hijas?
Aprender a ser mamá.
To learn how to be a mother.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Es un caminar difícil, pero al día de hoy es lo más complicado, pero lo más hermoso. Aprender a ser mamá.
It's a very difficult path, but it's also the most rewarding and the most beautiful path
Yeah.
to learn how to be a mother.
Yeah. Can I ask what's been the most difficult part of motherhood for you?
¿Qué ha sido lo más difícil para ti de ser mamá?
Jefe de familia y sustento, estar sola, no tener un apoyo moral, más que económico, moral, y tener que salir adelante sola con mis hijas.
So being the chief of her house, she is a single mother, so like having to be alone and not having like that moral support system, that has been the hardest part for her.
So you're raising raised the kids all by yourself.
O sea que siempre fuiste mamá soltera, tú criaste sola a tus hijas.
Hace 15 años.
15 years from now, she's been a single mother.
Wow.
Or
So
backwards, yeah.
have you been dating at all? Are you trying to find a man in your life, or are
Que
you
si
enjoying
estás
being single?
saliendo a citas, estás intentando buscar a alguien o no.
No, ahorita mi enfoque es mis hijas, mi nieto y trabajar.
So now she's focused on her daughters, her son, no, her grandson, and working. That's what she wants from life right now.
Qué bonita. There was one other thing I wanted to ask. Oh yeah, so how long have you been? ¿Por cuántos años? Fuck, I don't know how to say it. How long have you been doing your current job?
¿Cuánto tiempo llevas en el trabajo en el que estás ahora?
De hecho, yo soy voluntaria, yo no percibo un salario y yo tengo poco aquí en este trabajo. Aquí en esta colonia tengo poco, entonces apenas estoy como comenzando a tener clientes.
So she's actually a volunteer. She doesn't get a salary from doing her job.
Oh, really?
And she just started with this job in this colony or in this part of town, yeah.
Oh, so you're totally just a volunteer, sweeping your...
O sea, solo eres voluntaria, o sea.
Sí, no soy parte de la nómina del gobierno.
Exactly, yeah. She doesn't get a salary from the government.
Wow. I admire very much how much care you have for the other people in your life and for the community.
Que
in your
admira
life.
mucho la dedicación que tienes para la comunidad y para la otra gente en tu vida. Admira mucho eso de ti.
Very admirable.
Gracias, muy amable.
Thank
It was
you.
such a pleasure to meet you. What's your name again?
Fue un placer conocerte. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Gracias, yo soy Sandra Salas.
Sandra, ¿alguien más quieres hablar? Anything more you would like to say?
¿Hay algo más que
A
te
las
gustaría decirle a la
personas
gente
de,
del internet,
The computadora.
de la computadora?
Bueno, que este trabajo es muy noble, es un trabajo que da mucha satisfacción, que lo hago con orgullo y que ténganlo por seguro que Sandra dará un buen servicio y si no es así, reclámeme. No, y aparte de eso, les agradezco este espacio. Nunca había tenido una entrevista y bueno, espero haberlo hecho correcto.
That this is a very noble job. It's a very satisfactory job, and you can be sure that she's going to do a good job at what she's doing. And that
Absolutely.
this is the first time she's been interviewed, and she's really excited about that. So
Oh, that's
she says thank you to you for giving her this space.
Oh, gracias. Thank you for sitting down and talking with me.
Gracias a ti por sentarte.
Y además que hagan conciencia de que pues no tiren mucha basura en la calle porque pues se va a las coladeras y lo que sí me gustaría pues que cuando saquen sus mascotas a la calle, habemos muchos carritos recolectores o camiones recolectores que los depositen ahí, no los dejen en la calle porque la verdad eso contamina y de alguna manera lo vemos cuando llueve, pues las inundaciones. Entonces, esa parte sí que hagan un poco de conciencia a la sociedad.
We should be more conscious of not throwing trash on the floor because
Yes.
then it goes into like the water and the sewage.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that dedicate their life to picking up the trash. So we
Yeah.
should be more conscious about the fact of where our trash is going.
That's good. I'm glad we got to interview you because now we have when we think of we just throw things on the ground, somebody will take it. Now we have you to think. I feel like it was good to really get to know you and everything.
Que dice
I don't know
que-
if what I said made sense just now, but
Que agradece mucho haberte conocido porque a veces tiramos la basura y decimos alguien la va a recoger y y dice que qué bueno que podemos conocer ahora como a las personas que hacen esa labor que es tan importante.
we could put an actual person to the person who
Que
we
ahora
think
le
is cleaning
podemos
up
poner
stuff,
como una cara a esa de trabajo que nosotros luego no vemos, ¿no?
Bueno, pues muchas gracias a ustedes por este espacio. Fue un placer también haberles conocido.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Mucho gusto, Sandra.
Gracias.
Gracias
igual.
mucho.
Hasta
Muchas
luego.
gracias.
Gracias.
Muchísimas
gracias,
qué amable.
Bon fortuna for the rest of your day. She was awesome. That was a great interview. That was awesome. Stuff like that is why I really like doing this stuff. I really, because I feel like, you walk by all around the city and you see, people doing all kinds of jobs and whatnot, and it's fucking cool to actually really get to know the life of someone sweeping streets in Mexico City. And she was very sweet, and I meant what I said. She had a lot of love and care for this shit outside of herself. She wasn't worried about what's gonna happen to me. What's going on in my life. She was very much interested in taking care of her daughters, learning from her daughters, taking care of her grandson, taking care of her community. I mean, the fact that she does it for free on a volunteer basis, very admirable woman, very great talking to her. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, shit. Do you want to sit on the thing?
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, thank you. I watch the stream, so.
You said you watch The Simpsons?
Yeah, the streams.
The what?
The streams.
Oh, the streams. Oh, you watch the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. How'd you find it?
I was on Facebook actually, and I was watching the shorts with Denzel.
Oh, cool, man.
Oh man, that was so good.
Yeah, no, he's a wild card.
Yeah, he's pretty wild, you know.
Where did you get this?
From a Busico stores here.
Are you really into fashion?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, how long have you been into fashion for?
Maybe like 2 years. 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay. What is your life like?
Oof, it's kind of rough, you know. I've been into university 1 year ago, and it's kind of scared. I was kind of scared because it's a rough ride, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I am into psychology, so
Oh.
going into people's mind and know what they think is kind of strange. And most I work with children, so a lot of things that they told me are pretty tough.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you feel like when people are telling you all these tough things, it like weighs down on you?
Yes, it's like I feel, I don't know how to say it, but I feel bad to hear kids being this kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because you hear that they are being exploited or they are in a bad environment, so you feel pretty down, and it makes you really down to earth. It's pretty tough.
And so it's giving you a good perspective talking to all these people.
Yes, it's a good perspective because it puts you in a side where you say, okay, I understand what is happening to everybody,
Interesting.
and I understand what is happening to others, and that's why I watch it, because I see other people talking to you and telling you that you are doing the streams and helping other people. And when I see this, I say, oh my God, this life, I have to come here.
That's so crazy. It's crazy to me that like even like going to Mexico City, that there's people that watch the stream. It really makes me, it's really freaking surreal. So thanks, man.
Yes, it helps me a lot because I didn't understand people a lot, but when I hear you on the streams and talking to others and with being this patient,
Yeah.
because I hear other people talking to you like a meme, like being, I love toes on this type of things.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it's a meme, but hearing you talking about serious things is like, oh my God, I understand what he's doing.
So I was going to ask you, so talking to all these other people about their problems, does that like give you a better perspective on your own problems?
Yes, it gives you a lot because it puts you down to earth and you understand what other people is talking to you.
Yeah.
So you feel like, oh man, I understand what he's feeling, what he's saying, or what he's hearing, So when I watch your streams, it's like, oh my God, I understand that people, and I know that they are passing through a bad moment,
Yeah.
But watching you like replying in a very meme way and being this joke, but telling them an advice is kind of, it makes me feel happy, It makes me feel better because I understand that you're helping others and others are helping you.
So in your own work, the kids that you work with, what age group are they?
Oh, they're like 5, 4 maybe.
5 and 4?
Yes.
Really? So how are they? I mean, I feel like at 5 and 4, like it's hard for you to articulate very much, like these like, complex feelings that you're feeling.
Yes, because you understand him in a very mean way. You feel like, oh my God, by example, I'm 19, so I feel like, man, I'm through a very hard moment right now.
Yeah.
Or I was passing through a very hard moment, and hearing a kid that is 5, 6, telling the same things that I'm feeling is like, oh man, you don't have to pass this. This is too way complex for you.
Wait, so interesting. Okay, so even though these kids are like literally 5 years old, they're talking to you about problems that you experience at your current age.
Yes, and
what kinds of, if it's not too personal, what kinds of problems do they have that you also have?
A lot of them that I work with are talking always about alcoholism, alcoholism. I'm sorry.
About what?
Alcoholism, like getting drunk. Their parents are getting drunk.
Oh, sure, alcoholism.
Yes. And they are talking a lot about emotional experiences, being left off or having this kind of anxiety, you know.
Anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah.
All these kind of problems.
Yeah.
So they are always like, oh my God, man, you are through a very hard moment right now.
What kinds of things are kids that are 5 years old having anxiety about?
Yes, and it's pretty weird because I didn't know people like 4 years, 5 years could go through this whole process.
Yeah.
And be like, oh my God, man, you're you're literally a kid.
Yeah.
Happening with troubles that other mature people have right now. So
Does working with these kids that are that young, does that like kind of bring you back to when you were that age and make you think about what it was like when you were 4 and 5?
I literally passed, I think, 3 months ago. I was crying because I was in a place that is like very low economic resources place, and I was crying with a friend because my friend lost her dad some weeks ago, and I was talking to him like, oh my God, man, you can go through this and this. The kid goes and told us that their parents literally died weeks ago. Jeez. And there was occurring some dark things in their house, you know. So the kid was happy that this occurred. So we were like, oh my God, how can a kid be happy that their parents died? And we were like, oh my God, man, this is so hard. And we were crying minutes ago because the kid told us what their parents did to him. And it was pretty hard, you know, hearing a kid talking about these type of things and you being in the center, you hearing all the things that are happening to them is like, oh my God, man, I know what he's feeling. And I know these things is, oh my God, this is so fucked up, you know.
I don't want to get too personal if you don't want to, but did you also have parents that were not great to you?
Not so much, but there were things where sometimes I feel like I was through a hard moment, you know. Mm-hmm. So there were moments where I say, "Oh my God, this is too hard for me." Mm-hmm. But yes, experiencing that moment gives you the experience to talk to others and understand them, because it's pretty hard to know when a kid is feeling bad, but he's being through something really, really, really mean.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like what kinds of things do you feel like you're learning from these kids, just about life in general?
Oh, well, a lot about being patient.
Interesting.
Because a lot of people, I think, that are focused on success, and every time they're focused on being really, really, really success, people is only focused on being on the top. Yeah. They're always on, oh my God, I want to be high. Oh my God, I want to be on top. I want to be the best. But no other parents talk about their sons on being patient. So a lot of problems begin with this, because they are always like, man, I'm a kid and I want to play video games. I want to play with my toys.
Sure.
I don't want to be successful. I'm sorry, because a lot of people focus on this, and they don't feel like they are living their lives. They feel like they are living the things they need to. Like I need to be an actor in 5 years, you know.
And so at 5 years old, these kids are talking about like what they need to be doing with their careers instead of just like playing games and being a kid.
Yes, and you don't actually be a kid, and you don't enjoy that part.
Yeah.
And later in the future, you feel like, oh man, my life is a trash because I'm not being myself. I'm not doing the things I want.
And it's interesting because you're drawing all these comparisons between these 5-year-old kids and how you are now. Because I feel like we get like that, you know, even as adults, right? Like not forgetting to just be a person and live and do things, and you know, spending too much time worrying about being successful and whatnot. It's very interesting hearing about like, because when I think of a 5-year-old, I do not think of them being able to like have all these very complex problems and feelings and emotions. I mean, it's a crazy thing that you're engaging with them in this way. It's really admirable, by the way. I mean, do you feel like you know, are you good at leaving it all on the table when you get home at work, or are you like, do you ever lay awake at night thinking about some of this stuff?
Some of that stuff, it makes me feel angry sometimes, because I feel like I can do much, in most of my in the aspects of my career, by example, I can do that much because if I do something, people are gonna react and are gonna say, "Oh my God, you are saying to a child that he doesn't need to be successful," and people be like, "Oh, what are you doing that? What are you saying that? You don't have to say that." And sometimes people get mad about that, and really, especially here in a place like Mexico, this happens a lot. That if you give an advice to somebody, people took it too personally. That it says, "Oh my God, what are you saying this to me? You don't have to. You are being very mean to me."
Is it like a pride thing?
Yes,
like people don't want to give advice
like
to them
pride,
because it's a pride. Yeah.
Yes, and it's like a pride thing, and people feel like, oh, man, what is he told me that I need to be calm, by example. I'm very calm, and they're exclaiming, So people took it too personal.
Do you think that's a thing, like a cultural thing here?
Oh, yes. Here in Mexico, yes, a lot. A lot of people took it like their pride is the only thing they have.
Interesting. Does that make it hard for people to, like, discuss all these, difficult things that are going on in their lives because they have like pride and they don't want to go and get help for it?
Oh yes, they're pretty. I mean, not toxic, but I can say that they're pretty close-minded because people took it like, oh my God, if there is somebody telling me that my life is a trash and I should change, they're not took it like, oh my God, I need to change. Yeah. They took it like others people are wrong and I need to do what I think that is best for me, So people is kind of weird here because nobody told an advice like an advice. They told him like you are forcing them to be like that.
Okay, so people aren't taking it like, hey, I'm trying to help, here's some stuff. They're like, hey, be more like me, like I'm trying to change you type of thing, and people are resistant to that.
Yes, they're pretty resistant. Yeah. They always act like in defense. But it's more because the culture of the country is pretty weird, People took of their dad mostly what they only see good. I don't know how to explain this, but it's like my dad is good at, I don't know, at football. So I'm going to become better on football. They're not taking it like, okay, my dad is good at football, but I don't like football. I want to become.
Interesting. So people are like they're following what their parents did and how their parents think, and not taking enough time to like think for themselves. You think?
Yes, and because of all of this, when you complete it in one thing, they're always like, okay, I need to be the most successful in history footballer, and I can't be playing video games because my dads are gonna complain to me.
Interesting.
And this is like a big mix of things, and people always get mad at you every 5 seconds here.
Interesting. So are you trying to like impart upon the younger people like, this sort of different way of living life, like that they can live a life that was different from their parents, or that they don't have to, be so prideful that they can't ask for help and things like that?
Yes, a lot of people don't ask for help, and mostly in mental health issues.
Yeah.
Because people are like, whatever, I don't have time for this. But then 10 minutes later, they are crying for whatever reason, or they're driving. And this is the most common example for this. People in Mexico drive like a shit, believe me when I say this. So when they drive, they are always like blaming other people, complaining. So a lot of people are pretty anxious, and when they're anxious and driving, they're told a lot of things to other people. They could damage or hurt other people, but they're always like this, and this has become this reason. A lot of people don't take the time to say, okay, I'm doing this, but I need to take a breath and go away. Just take a break, and okay. People just keep on their days, and they don't stop. They never stop.
So people aren't taking time to just stop and think and take in what there's going on with them mentally. They just go.
Yeah.
And that's sort of causing a lot of chaos, you think?
Yes, it's creating like a lot of chaos in the city, and people is just becoming more aggressive. They don't become. They are not very warm, like people say they are. Because people say, oh, people in Mexico is pretty warm. Oh, the warm people in the world.
Yeah.
But it's strange when people act like very aggressive. It's because they have like a dark past right now here. I met a lot of people that are pretty much only aggressive in their days. But when you hear all that their thing, it's like, oh man, you have some really deep shit right now. So mostly people in Mexico is pretty conscious about what is happening. So if you see somebody that is happening to a bad mood right now, is happening to a bad day, just chill, just hear them and understand that they're probably to the most horrible day in their lives.
Interesting. So that probably, you seem like you have a lot of empathy for people who are even they're aggressive, because you can tell that behind that aggression is something that's like hurting them.
Yes, mostly because people here in the city, they are always in this negative mode, and they don't have the capacity to be positive or happy in the moment. So a lot of people is going through some deep things, and we have to understand them. Mostly here, that there is a city full of colors, happiness, and life. We need to understand people and stop saying that they are just some random stranger talking shit about me, and I don't want to come to this city again, never, because they are toxic. No, it's just people are having a bad day, and that's mostly of them.
What's your name again?
Ian.
Ian?
Yes.
Ian, it's very nice to meet you, man. I'm very, very impressed by all the work that you're doing, and all the empathetic nature of everything that you're saying, and I think it's awesome. And I'm glad that you watch my stream. But I love them. It's great that you're like, I'm a fucking gecko, but it's great that you're out here doing actual psychology work for these young kids, and hopefully, giving them a better perspective as they're getting older.
No, thank you, because your streams actually makes me feel better sometimes, because as a psychology, I hear some tough things, and hearing others talking to you and being like, man, I'm going through some deep things, and you're talking to them like, oh, I don't know, buy something, be better.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's like, man, he's helping others like I do, but he's doing.
So are you, man.
He's doing something very big, and I think that a lot of people doesn't actually recognize this, but you are helping a lot of people. Actually, low-key, you are doing great things for others.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Oh, I respect you so much.
I respect you so much, man. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Oh, no, thank you for all, and keep watching live streams.
Ian, thank you very much for talking to a gecko, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
That guy rocks. I don't know if you caught any of that.
I caught some of it, yeah.
Yeah, that guy was like, does psychology for like 5-year-olds.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 years. And he was saying like 5-year-olds are way, like, they have way more problems than we thought.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that.
No. I don't remember being so stressed at 5, but then again, that was a while ago.
What are your problems, Martin?
What's my problem? What are my problems? So many. Choose one. I think right now I am working through. That's a really personal question. I'm working through.
You don't have to answer it. If you don't want to.
I'm working through things of self-worth. Liking myself, loving myself, living my best life, the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. What do you like about yourself?
Well, I do think I'm funny.
I think you're funny.
Thank you. I'm good at baking.
Okay.
I'm nice. Like I try to help people. I'm just here like justifying myself to people. I'm nice, okay? And yeah, like I always try to like leave people with a positive impression. Yeah.
Martin is here translating for us today.
Trying to.
What? How long have you lived? Were you born here in Mexico City?
I was born here in Mexico City, actually, but I lived all over. I was born here when I was 2 months old. My family moved up to Torreon in Mexico City. Then in Mexico, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Monclova, which is a tiny town in Coahuila. And then we moved to Guadalajara, and then we moved to Cuernavaca, and then I lived in Connecticut for 2 years, and then I came back. So.
Man, so you've been all over the place.
All over the place.
Where have you hated the most?
I probably Cuernavaca because I didn't want to move in the first place. So they're announcing a tour. So.
Oh, okay. I'm hearing like some guy on a megaphone. What is he talking about?
They're gonna have a tour of the Coyoacán downtown, and he's like, if you go to the bus where they do it, they're just announcing.
Okay.
So it's a little tour where they explain to you like, this is the church, and this is where so and so lived, and blah blah blah. So.
What can you tell us about where we are?
About Coyoacan, the independence here, Mexican independence here, September 16, is great. They have great churros. There's this place where we do stand up like one block over there.
Yeah.
And I once had a date here with a guy.
Yeah.
And at the end he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad our first date was February 14." And I did not realize it was February 14 until that moment.
Oh, he said he's so glad. I feel like going on a date on Valentine's Day is kind of like
It's bad.
weird.
Yeah. But like all of my friends had plans for that day, and I didn't. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna do shit with my boyfriend." I was like, "Okay, well, whatever." So like this guy's like, "Do you wanna come and have a coffee?" Like, "Yeah, sure, let's go."
Okay.
And then like at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad our relationship started." He said that.
He said it was that a relationship started.
Like first date. It's like so glad our relationship started February 14. I'm like, and it ended that day too. Like how romantic.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of commitment there.
Yeah, no, it was too much at the same time.
How do you feel about commitment? Are you
I mean,
like
on the one hand, in theory, it sounds amazing. In theory, I've been planning my wedding ever since I was 5. It wasn't even legal to get married for me to get married at the time, so in theory, amazing. In practice, I have been single for a while. So.
Yeah, are you like going on dates a lot and shit?
I haven't had a date. I like plan. I plan my work day, and then I have like the comedy thing, and I have like recordings and whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, I have no time
Not enough time.
I'm like J-Lo, one of those movies. Like I have no time for a relationship
because you're living your best life.
Exactly, and I'm just waiting for Hollywood actor whatever to bump into me. I'm like, oh my God, first love, love at first sight. But yeah, no, not so many dates.
I feel like that's the way to do it, though. This is something I've said on camera 8,000 times, but I feel like that's the way to do it, right? Because you're like, you have your own life.
Yeah.
And then somebody else can come be a part of it, as opposed to all these people who are like, and I've been addicted to dating apps before, where you're like trying to fill a hole with a person.
Yes, exactly.
It never works.
Never.
Yeah. So you do stand up.
I do.
What is there and you do it? What percentage of the time do you do it in Spanish versus doing it in English?
Well, right now it's been like 50-50 because I've been looking to do more stand-up in English. But usually it would have been like 80-20.
Okay. What is there like a difference between Mexican humor and American humor?
Yes. Mexican humor, it's way wordier. Like I think it has to do with the fact that a lot of our comedians are known for like extending the joke. Like there's also this word we call cantinflear, which Cantinflas is one of the classic Mexican comedians, and he would just like he would just extend the joke. He would just kept on talking. I mean, like redundant about it. So I think Spanish humor is wordier, specifically Mexican humor, and also like Mexican humor is very albur based. I don't know if you know that word, albur.
What is albur?
Albur is basically like double entendre. It's like sex, like using sexual jokes, but like trying to like stick it in, being subtle about it. Subtle.
Okay.
So it's like like at any point you're like, oh my God, I love Chile. I'm like, do you love Chile? Because everything is a stand-in for
Do you have an example of what is the word again?
Albur.
Of an albur type of joke?
Oh my God.
It's okay if you can't. I know it's on the spot.
It's on the spot. Well, I mean, this is actually a sort of a joke that I do, but it's like, it's like if you.
We can pretend like we're on like a late night show and I'm like setting you up.
Exactly. Like relationship wise, I'm like a cat.
Yeah.
Like I'm only looking for a warm lap and some warm milk. And warm milk being
cum.
Exactly. That's so
okay.
And people say like
that's very abhorrent.
Yes,
Now I know now I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So and the thing with albur in Mexico is also like a very they're always, it's usually two straight guys trying to like make making jokes about having sex with each other. So it's something I don't fit in that conversation because it's like no, I am okay with that.
So is Mexican is it very dirty? Like, do people talk about cum and?
Yeah, it is. It can be, I guess, and it can be pretty like I guess. I guess one of the things that I sometimes complain about, it can be very basic like that. Like it always like comes back to that. But there's also like people who are very. In the end, it's playing with language. So there's people that are really like they manage to do it. it's raunchy, but it's tasteful. But yeah, a lot of Mexican humor is like that, and a lot of Mexican, and and right now there's this whole thing like you have like older comedians who are more like of the school of doing jokes, like I hate my mother-in-law, stuff like that. So we're trying. So some and I have nothing against it, but some other people are trying to like we could talk about other things.
So how long have you been doing stand-up for?
I've been doing stand-up for 12 years.
Now, okay, we covered the comedy, the audiences. How are they different?
The audiences, I think, especially since they're not used to comedians interacting with them, they tend to be like either shyer, like they
more closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Or super defensive. So like you say something and immediately they start, it's not even heckling. It's just like trying to shut you up. It's like you're not gonna make me look bad. So
like if you start talking to them, they go immediately on the defense.
Immediately.
Is that part of like, and it's not. I didn't just hear it from him just now, but I've heard about like a pride.
Yes.
Here is that part of that?
Yes.
Interesting.
And it's like, and it plays also into this whole thing of like this Mexican identity, especially among like this macho men. But it's like, it's like I'm not letting you. I'm not gonna let you make a fool of me.
Yes.
So I'm not even let you attempt it because like a lot of Mexican jokes, like street jokes, they're about like sneaky ways of making someone look a fool,
bad. And so they're on the defense.
Yeah, exactly. So like they're like no, I'm not even gonna let you start with it.
Interesting. Do you feel like a lot of like that the Mexican pride thing is true? Like people are on the defense. People don't want to like be given advice to and things like that.
Yeah, like it's hard for people to take. I mean, and of course I'm generalizing, but like I think it's hard for people to take advice, and it's also like there's this thing with Mexicans where it's like we're very like sort of like we have this pride like, oh my god, we're kind of like MacGyver everything, like
sure,
we don't need to actually do the thing the way they're supposed to do. We can like take duct tape and whatever and just fix stuff. And sometimes it's like I mean you are fixing it, but you could actually work into like
work through it as opposed to like take it to a mechanic instead of just duct taping it through.
Exactly. And so people are like, no, I'm not going to take my car to a mechanic. I don't need someone who has been dealing with cars for his entire life to fix my car. I can fix it. I probably know what's wrong with it.
Is this an older people thing, or is it just across
I think it's mostly an older people thing, but of course, like it's a thing you grow up with, so you kind of like absorb it through.
Do you identify with? Are you personally a prideful person?
I think, yeah, in some ways I am. I tend to, like, not so much with, like, the physical things, when it comes to, like, plumbing or cars or whatever. I'm more, it's fine, like, just take it to the professional and, like, just have them fix it. But when it comes to, like, other stuff, like, like I feel that I need to have all of the information all the time, because if someone corrects me, it's like, oh my god, like, I feel like I'm being, I've been, you're a fraud, like.
Oh, like you're everything you knew has been wrong the whole time,
exactly.
And you don't want to admit that.
No.
No, nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to admit that.
But I'm never wrong. Okay.
Martin, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer?
What do I have to say? I mean, I hope you have a nice day, and be nice to other people.
Do you think we're gonna get some good interviews today? Well, we already did. This was pretty great. The other guy was pretty great.
Yeah. I think we are gonna get some amazing interviews.
Beautiful. Let's do it. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Ricardo Padilla.
Ricardo Lyle. Mucho gusto. Me gusta la boca. Juegas Pac-Man. Do you play Pac-Man?
Jugué cuando estaba más chiquito, sí jugué mucho videojuegos.
When he was little, he played a lot of video games.
Oh, okay. And how come you stopped playing video games?
¿Por qué dejaste de jugar videojuegos?
Porque creces y te tienes que volver más responsable, tienes más cosas que hacer y ya dejas de jugar.
When you grow up, you have to be more responsible and you have to stop playing in order to do other things.
Oh, okay. Do you miss not having responsibilities?
¿Extrañas no tener responsabilidades?
Sí, mucho. Sí, bastante.
Now, say no tienes responsabilidades. ¿Qué haces? What would you do if you did not have responsibilities?
Mira, yo trabajo aquí cerca y vengo desde Texcoco. Está muy lejos, entonces realmente en traslados ya me toma mucho tiempo. Y la responsabilidad del trabajo, pues yo soy chofer de una agencia de coches. Y pues la verdad es de que hay que estar muy concentrado para que no le pase nada a los vehículos.
Y él pregunta, ¿qué harías con tu vida si no tuvieras responsabilidades?
Excelente pregunta.
That's a good question.
Muy buena. Pues sí, a lo mejor volver a ser niño, volver a jugar. Me gustaba mucho jugar fútbol, me gustaban mucho los videojuegos.
If he has any responsibilities, he will go back to play soccer because he really liked it as a child.
Okay.
He will also like to go back and play video games again.
Oh, okay. You would like to play video games and soccer.
Sí.
Pero no tienes nada tiempo para soccer o videojuegos, nada tiempo.
No, pues salgo de
You
tu
have any
casa a
time?
las 6 de la mañana y llego a las 10:30 de la noche. La verdad es de que nada más quiero llegar a dormir.
He says that he lives in a really far neighborhood from
Oh,
here.
okay.
He's some kind of driver. So when he goes out, he goes out of his home by 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and he goes back by 10:30 p.m. So he just wants to sleep.
Okay. It's how do you say tired?
Cansado.
Mucho cansado anoche. You're very getting
Sí.
tired at night.
Sí, y jugar videojuegos pues te toma por lo menos unas 3 horas, ¿no?
If you play video games, you take at least 3 hours.
Yeah. ¿Tienes la familia, niños?
No, me acabo de juntar con mi esposa. Llevamos ya 7 años juntos y no, pues la verdad es de que no, familia nada más somos ella y yo.
He's been married for 7 years, so
Wow.
he hasn't had any child yet.
Oh, wow. What does your wife do?
¿Qué hace tu esposa?
Ella trabaja aquí en Sheraton como secretaria.
She works as some kind of secretary / receptionist in one of the biggest hotels in the city, Sheraton.
Oh, cool. Well, do you guys get to spend a lot of time together with you working so much?
¿Pueden pasar tiempo juntos cuando ambos están trabajando mucho?
Sí, de hecho nos trasladamos, pues, vivimos juntos, nos trasladamos los dos juntos y nos regresamos los dos juntos. Ahora sí que todo lo que es el transporte, nos la pasamos los dos conviviendo juntos.
They spend a lot of time together, going and coming back from work because they live together, and also they work in really close.
In a similar building. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the work that you do, the money it makes, is it worth everything that you give up to work so hard?
¿El salario que recibes vale la pena de todo el trabajo que das? ¿Consideras eso, más o menos?
No,
Really?
porque no, pues es que los salarios son muy bajos, se gana muy poquito y realmente pues lo que aprovecho es el tiempo de estar con mi pareja. Es lo divertido.
He says that it's not worth it because the salaries are low. However, the time that he's able to spend with his wife is completely worth it.
Okay. That's awesome, man. How did you and your wife meet?
¿Cómo se conocieron?
Nos conocimos, fue muy curioso porque nos conocimos trabajando, pero realmente no nos hicimos caso. Y después de un año, en una publicación de Facebook, ella la comentó, yo la saludé y ya de ahí quedamos en vernos y de ahí pues para acá.
They worked together for a year, and they didn't talk each other. Just one random day, she commented one of his publications on Facebook, and they say like, "Hey, yo, let's be together." And that's the beginning.
Pero un año no hablan. Pero un año, pero trabaja. You worked together, but you didn't talk for the whole time.
Hablaron un año, pero no se hablaron.
No, para nada. O sea, fue un año que nos trabajamos juntos, no nos hablábamos, o sea, nos veíamos nada más. Y después del año comentó una publicación y ya de ahí para acá. Juntos.
Just the same. They didn't talk each other. She commented something on Facebook, and they started talking.
Oh, okay. Was it scandalous at all to start dating somebody that you work with?
¿Fue un poco escandaloso o llamó la atención que empezaras a salir con alguien que trabaja contigo?
No, porque yo renuncié, el trabajo que tenía, renuncié, nos alejamos un año, o sea, no nos vimos durante un año, ni pláticas, nada por el año. Y de repente, pues ya ves que en las publicaciones aparece, hay una publicación fulano, ya lo comentó y ya de ahí para acá.
Okay, so actually, when they were working together, then he quits, and then 1 year later, she commented on Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. And you're very happy with her, right? Do you have any, do you guys ever fight about anything?
¿Alguna vez pelean acerca de algo?
Sí, creo que es normal. Bueno,
Pues,
me parece
normal,
normal.
yeah.
It is normal.
Yeah.
Sí, no
normal
siempre
to have.
estamos de acuerdo.
Yes, they do not always agree on everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell me about life in Mexico City. Do you like living here?
¿Te gusta vivir en la Ciudad de México? Cuéntame acerca más de tu experiencia aquí.
Me gusta la Ciudad de México, trabajo en la Ciudad de México, pero de Texcoco es más provincia, entonces la vida ya es mucho más tranquila, o sea, me gusta trabajar aquí y irme a descansar allá.
He lives in a small town outside of Mexico City, nearby the airport.
Okay.
So what he's saying is that he likes to work here because it is really active, and on the weekends he likes to go outside the city because the life is easier, more calm, more.
Okay. So it's a little. You enjoy when it's a little bit more calm life outside the city than being here with all the chaos.
Disfrutas más tener una vida más tranquila que estar aquí en la ciudad con mucho caos.
Sí, definitivamente. Sí.
Definitely.
Have you been to any of the cities in the United States?
¿Alguna vez has ido a Estados Unidos, en alguna ciudad?
No, tengo familia allá, tengo una hermana allá que vive allá desde hace más de 30 años, pero nunca hemos ido para allá.
Tiene una he has a sister in the United States. She moved like 30 years ago, but he wasn't able to go there yet.
Oh, okay. Are you eventually going to try to go visit her?
¿Alguna vez vas a ir a visitarla?
No me llama la atención, la verdad es de que no me llama mucho la atención ir a visitarla, pero ella sí viene para acá.
He doesn't have any interest to go there, but he says that she frequently or often comes to Mexico City.
Oh, okay. How come you don't have any interest in the States? Do you have a negative view of the States at all?
¿Por qué no te interesa ir a los Estados Unidos? ¿Tienes una visión negativa respecto a ellos?
Un poquito sí, un poquito sí.
¿Por qué?
Porque, o sea, las noticias, ¿no? A lo mejor las noticias dan cosas de cómo son allá, que a mí me gusta más cómo es el mexicano. De hecho, me gusta mucho la República Mexicana. Conozco prácticamente viajando toda la República y me gusta mucho cómo es la gente de aquí, el trato que nos damos, la hermandad que existe aquí, y allá la verdad es de que no me llama para nada la atención. Creo que México hay mucho por visitar y me tardaría mucho pudiendo conocer México. Ya después, probablemente.
So he says two ideas. On the first hand, he says that a lot of that perception is because of the media, what the news says about something about the United States. And on the other hand, he really appreciates the way Mexican people treat everyone. So because I can imagine that because of his work, he has traveled around all the country, and he still have some places to go. Maybe when he finishes to check all Mexico, he will have interest to go abroad.
Okay, but there's still places in Mexico that you want to visit, and not just. But there are still places in Mexico that you want to visit before you go travel abroad.
Que hay algunos lugares a los que quieres ir en México antes de ir a Estados Unidos o salir del país.
Pues sí, prácticamente el norte de la República, los últimos 5 estados del norte son los que me faltan por conocer, y ya de ahí pues ya nada más sería el brinquito para allá a ver qué más hay.
He says that he has still to know 5 of the states that are right next to the United States.
Yeah.
And when he is around, he just has to go through the frontier, I guess.
Okay. What is it in the media that you see that gives you a bad perception of the U.S.?
¿Qué de lo que ves en las noticias o en la televisión, qué es lo que te da una mala imagen de Estados Unidos?
A veces cómo se tratan, la violencia en la que no siento que se traten muy bien. Siento que son muy agresivos a veces entre ellos.
He has the perception that between Americans, they're really aggressive between each other.
Yeah. Like that they are fighting with each other, that they're not very friendly between each other.
Que si están peleando entre ellos o que si no son amigables entre ellos, como un poquito más a detalles.
Como que son muy agresivos con el latino. Entonces es lo que de repente como que pues si vamos a ir a visitar, si vamos a ir a conocer, a mí me gusta llegar, ver a la gente y pues saludarlos, ¿no? Que te platiquen cómo es el lugar donde viven, que te enseñen cómo viven, y siento que allá no es así, siento que son agresivos, siento racismo por parte de ellos allá.
Okay, so the first idea is that the bad perception or the bad the aggressiveness is against Latinos.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
he
Okay.
has that perception.
That Americans are aggressive towards Latinos.
Yes, and that's why when you are traveling as a tourist,
Yeah.
the last thing you want to feel or to treat, the last thing you want to see is that treatment again
Sure.
for you.
Yeah.
And also, when he travels, he likes to meet people to see how do they live, what do they eat, and just to get more to know more the people from the area.
Okay.
That's not possible.
He like in the U.S. He said it's not very possible to like get to meet people that much.
Yeah.
I feel like that's true. I've noticed people here are definitely when I've traveled outside the U.S. I have noticed that people are a little bit more friendly and open to doing stuff like this, talking to strangers and whatnot.
Menciona que cuando él está allá nota que incluso allá es un poquito más difícil que la gente llegue y se siente y empiece a hablar con un extraño.
No, pero ya ves que aquí no es así, aquí es, puedes llegar, de hecho me ha tocado, he visitado ciudades donde de repente a mí me enseñaron a que llegas a la iglesia y de la iglesia conoces la gente y conoces cómo son y conoces más o menos la cultura. Entonces estoy acostumbrado a llegar, está la gente sentada y oye, pues te identifican que no eres de ahí. Entonces en el momento en el que hablas te preguntan y yo lejos de parecer, de ser chilango por allá, de que oye, no es que yo donde vivo hay todas estas cosas, pues llego yo, oye, ¿qué tienes de bonito aquí? Enséñame. Y ellos mismos, la misma gente se presta para llevarte a dar la vuelta, o sea, me gusta mucho eso.
He's saying that of course that it is clear that Mexicans are more open to just sit and talk with a stranger, that for instance when he's traveling and goes to a new small town or something, one of his main ideas or like to goes is to check the local church. Just check the people around it, and they will spot him.
Yeah.
Because he's not from here. He's not from the town, I mean.
Yeah.
And now that in a really humble way, he can get closer to the people and ask like, hey, what's good here? What do you eat?
Okay,
Where do you go? And that's how he is able to meet the locals of the area and know more about the whole state or the whole town.
That's great. So he said he goes to churches and that's kind of where he will meet people and find community and
Dice
whatnot.
que si vas a las iglesias donde conoces a la comunidad, cuando llegas a un nuevo pueblo, a un nuevo estado, como lo que acabas de decir.
Pues sí, es que llego, no lo hago por religioso, lo hago porque yo sé que ahí se concentra la mayor parte de la cultura del lugar. O sea, tú llegas a una iglesia, empiezas a ver los retablos, empiezas a ver la arquitectura de la iglesia y empiezas a ver más o menos cómo es ese tipo de gente, o sea, quién estuvo ahí, empiezas a conocer la historia, empiezas a ver, pues sí, prácticamente a lo que vas es a conocer al lugar al que estás llegando.
He goes to the church not in a religious way, just to get a perception about the place, the people,
right,
the story, the way they talk,
Right.
how do they interact between each other.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate your kindness and openness and adventurous spirits in coming to talk with me and in when you travel and go to meet people in these towns and whatnot.
Agradece mucho tu consejo en ir a iglesias y conocer gente nueva y que te hayas animado a sentarte con él y hablar con un desconocido.
Ah, no, muchas gracias, es que está increíble, ¿no? O sea,
What did he say?
se ve muy bien.
Thank you, actually. That it is incredible and this looks great.
Awesome, man. Alguien, I keep feeling like I'm saying this wrong. Alguien más quieres hablar a las personas de internet?
¿Hay algo más que quisieras decirle a la gente en internet? Más o menos te ve gente de todos lados del mundo.
Ah, me está viendo gente de todo. Ah, ok, yo no sabía que se trataba de eso. Pero pues que sean abiertos a la gente, que sean abiertos a los lugares. Vivimos en un mundo donde hay muchísimas cosas por conocer y que no nos dé miedo de repente acercarnos, o sea, siendo amistosos, siendo respetuosos, podemos conocer más acerca de nosotros mismos en diferentes partes del mundo.
He said that at the beginning he didn't know that this is like worldwide or that he will be seen in other countries.
Not that many people.
And also that what he wants to say is that he recommends to the people to be more open-minded.
Yes.
And be like to get to know the more things because there is a lot to learn in a really friendly and like respectful way. To know a lot of like to go to know more about the people.
Sí, qué bonita. Ricardo, sí?
Sí,
Ricardo, mucho gusto. Gracias por for talking to me.
Muy
Thank you
bien.
very much, man.
Gracias igualmente.
Of course. Take
Sí.
care, man.
Gracias, Ricardo.
Thank you.
Ya, te lo dejo aquí en el...
¿Seguro? Sí, sí, sí. Gracias.
That's awesome. Thank you, man. He was super interesting. I loved that he was talking about like going to these towns and like meeting these people and whatnot, and it was cool of him to sit down and I hope he gets to play more video games in the future, man.
Yeah, he looks quite calm, that he has his life like quite solved.
Yeah.
He looks like really centered.
Yeah, he does. What is your life like?
¿Cómo es tu vida? ¿Cómo se la describes?
¿Cómo es mi vida? Mi vida es muy divertida,
Sí.
muy entretenida. Me gustan mucho las plantas, así que me dedico a pintar y a cultivar y a arreglar jardines.
Okay, I caught. She said her life is very fun. It's very interesting. She likes plantas. Is that
Yes.
plants?
Yes.
And then
Cactus,
cactus,
suculentas.
suculentas. What else? Anything else that I missed?
Yeah, that she works in that. So she works in taking care of gardens and stuff.
Oh, okay. Are plants very similar to people?
¿Las plantas son similares a las personas? ¿Qué opinas?
Sí, sí, se tienen que cuidar, se tienen que amar y definitivamente son más bonitas cuando se llenan de amor.
You have to take care of the plants. You have to give them love. And like people, they're better, they're more beautiful when they are full of love. That's great.
I like that.
Yeah,
What
me too.
what fills you with love?
¿Cómo recibes amor? ¿Qué te llena de amor?
Me llena de amor mi familia, me llena de amor hacer lo que hago, me llena de amor la oportunidad de vivir todos los días, me llena de amor mi novio. Él
Her
me
boyfriend
llena de
is over
amor,
there going like
mucho
this.
amor.
Okay, so her boyfriend, her family, and what else did I miss?
What she does, that's all.
Okay, so you said that your boyfriend fills your heart, your family gives you heart, and what you do gives you heart. Your family, who are you close with in your family? Do you have kids or parents that you're close with, or who in the family are you very close with?
Dentro de tu familia, ¿quiénes son cercanos? ¿Tienes hijos? ¿A tus padres?
Una hija, ya es grande, tiene 27 años, mi primer amor. Mi segundo muy amor sería mi sobrino Santiago, tiene 6 años, mis hermanos y bueno, mis papás definitivamente ya no vive, pero me siguen llenando de amor.
So she mentions several people in her family. On the first one is her daughter.
Yeah.
She's 27 years old.
Oh, wow.
She's quite old, but
Yeah.
but she's like the main source of love.
Yeah.
Then his nephew. He's
Nephew.
6 years old, and she really loves him. Then her brothers, and finally her parents. Even though they are not longer on earth, she keeps receiving love wherever they are.
Okay, qué bonita, qué bonita.
Sí.
Is it más difícil? Is it harder to take care of? How much harder is it to take care of children than plants?
¿Qué tanto es más difícil cuidar a niños que a plantas?
No es difícil. Un niño es más fácil cuidar una planta que un niño, pero la alegría que te da un niño nunca jamás te la va a dar una planta. Un niño es mejor.
It is harder to take care of a child. However, you cannot compare the happiness and the love that you receive from a child instead of a plant.
Sure. So it's difficult. It's more difficult, pero es mejor benefits.
Mucho más feliz. Sí,
okay.
sí. Aprendes mucho.
How does your life right now, as it is, compare to how you thought it would be when you were younger?
¿Qué tan distinta es tu vida de lo que es ahora que cuando eras niña imaginabas que ibas a ser de grande?
Nada diferente.
Nada diferente.
No. A mí siempre me gustó el arte, me gustó dibujar, fui creativa desde muy niña y sigo haciendo eso. Entonces, siempre me visualicé como una persona haciendo lo que amaba y al día de hoy hago lo que amo y me encanta. Soy feliz haciendo las cosas que hago.
It is not different that what she imagined back in the day. She has always been a creative, such fun person, and nowadays she's working in whatever she makes her happy. Therefore, there is no difference, and she's great.
Have you ever had jobs that didn't make you happy previously?
Desde que has empezado a trabajar, ¿alguna vez tuviste un trabajo que no te hiciera completamente feliz? ¿O siempre todos tus trabajos han sido como que te llenan o por el estilo?
Todos mis trabajos me han gustado siempre. Fui secretaria, recepcionista, trabajé en un conmutador. De todo lo que hice, todo me gustó por las personas con las que trabajaba. Ellos hicieron que mi trabajo fuera algo muy bonito, donde aprendí, donde crecí, y quizá lo malo fue algunas personas que se cruzaron en el camino, pero en general lo bueno de todos los trabajos que tuve fue la gente con la que trabajé.
Okay. She's saying that she has worked as secretary, as call center.
Yeah.
One more, man. Secretaria,
Secretaria, recepcionista.
Receptionist.
Yeah.
And the things that she loved more about working were the people that she was surrounded with.
Okay.
Of course, there is always like bad people that will, that will mess with you, but she's really happy with all her experience.
Okay, so you've had jobs in the past where you're talking to a lot of people and it makes her happy to talk with people.
¿Considera que tus trabajos donde hablas con mucha gente también te hacen feliz?
Sí, me encanta hablar. Sí, hablo mucho.
Okay. Do you believe that people in general are good?
¿Consideras que las personas en general son buenas?
Sí.
Okay.
Sí. La naturaleza es ser bueno. La gente no se hace mala, la gente solo actúa de malas maneras dependiendo de las circunstancias, pero creo que la mayoría de la gente es buena sabiendo aceptar y respetar a las personas.
Okay, so she says that by nature people are good, or people is good. Sometimes when people do bad stuff, it's not because inherently they're bad guys.
Interesting.
Sometimes you just behave in a bad way. But she says that it is important to always treat the others with respect and in a good way.
I like that. You feel like badness mainly comes from like circumstance more than it is that people are just inherently bad? Does that make sense?
Sí. ¿Consideras que las personas naturales son buenas y que a veces las circunstancias los hacen malos?
Sí. Sí.
I like that. Tell me about Mexico City. Do you like living here?
Sí.
Okay.
What do you like about Mexico City? Great.
¿Qué te gusta de la Ciudad de México? ¿Por qué te gusta vivir aquí?
La variedad que hay de personas de diferentes culturas. Muchas opciones para divertirse, para salir. La cultura en México es muy bonita. Las costumbres, amo México. La comida, todo amo en México. Sí.
Food, lots of options for fun. Lots of culture. Are there people here from many different places in the world? As I'm walking by, I'm hearing like, we were talking about this, how we hear like so many different accents. It's a place where a lot of people come.
Dice que sí hay mucha gente viviendo de diversas culturas o lugares, que hace rato estábamos hablando que incluso aquí escuchamos unos 10 acentos distintos.
Sí. Hay mucha gente que viene de hecho como turista o de visita y se queda a vivir en México, encuentra oportunidad en México, siempre hay algo que hacer, siempre en todos lados cabes en México. Y por eso es que estamos tan ricos de tanta diversidad. Sí, hay de países, de estados, hay mucha gente aquí, sí.
One of the reasons of the variety of there is a lot of people from different parts. It is because a lot of tourists, when they arrive to Mexico City, they feel really warm, they feel welcome, and then they have the opportunity just to get a work, to get a place, and they stay here to live.
I've noticed that the people I've met so far in Mexico have been very warm, very welcoming, very friendly.
Que han sido, las personas de la Ciudad de México han sido muy amenas, muy cálidas, muy amables.
Sí.
Have you traveled to a lot of other different places in the world?
¿Has viajado a algunos distintos lugares en el mundo, ya sea dentro del país, fuera?
Sí.
And have you experienced a similar warmth?
¿En algún lugar has recibido algún tipo de similar cariño como el que recibes en México?
¿Dónde?
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
Argentina, habla, creo que en el pedir está el dar es una frase en México. En el pedir está el dar. Si tú sabes ser amable, la gente es amable contigo, no importa a qué parte del mundo vayas. En Argentina me recibieron muy bien, a pesar de que no me daban buenas referencias. Yo he tenido contacto con gente de Argentina, incluso en México. Son muy lindas personas. Sí.
She says that the key to have when you arrive to Argentina, it is really similar to a Mexican phrase, or
sure.
I mean Spanish phrase.
Oh yeah, what's the phrase?
That says, in the way you ask, you shall receive, or you will receive, something more or less. I don't
How
know.
do I say that? How do you say it in Spanish?
En el pedir, in the way you ask.
En el pedir.
En el pedir
En el pedir.
está el dar.
Está el dar.
Ajá.
En el pedir está el dar.
Ajá.
The energy you give out is the energy you receive.
Correcto.
So
Sí.
when she was in Argentina,
I
when
agree,
she
yeah.
arrived and she was nice and respectful to the people there, they were like really kind, like back. And even though she had bad opinions or bad images about Argentina,
Oh really?
they were not true. Even though, inclusive the Argentinians in
Interesting.
Mexico, they're really nice.
Interesting. Prima vas a Argentina, creas
Mala idea.
Okay.
Ajá.
But before you went, you had bad.
Pero fue diferente. Llegué y muy diferente. Muy buena gente, la gente de Argentina. En Estados Unidos también. En algunos estados aquí en México también es muy agradable.
So you said in the United States you also had negative sort of connotations or
No,
whatnot.
dice que también en Estados Unidos. Sorry. She says that in the United States, she says that in United States there is also some states that are really welcome and really warm.
Oh, good, yeah.
And also some states in Mexico.
Oh, cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's great to hear that you've found lots of friendliness in a lot of places that you've been to.
Es increíble que hayas encontrado gente amable en Estados Unidos.
¿Sí? No es increíble.
Wait, what?
She says like, no, it's not incredible. It's common.
Okay, good.
No.
Well, I mean, that's good. You seem to have. I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know, people who are downers about just life and people in general, and you seem very like a positive person. It's a nice thing to see.
Es que la energía con la que vas, ¿no? Te conectas con esa misma energía y si tú vas bien, recibes bien.
She says that with the energy that you go to the place, they will like answer back.
Claro.
Sí.
Alguien más. This is the only thing I know how to say in Spanish. I always fuck it up. Alguien más quieres hablar a personas de internet?
Algo más que le quieras decir a la gente del internet, te están viendo desde muchos lados.
Ok, que visiten México, que disfruten México, que no le tengan miedo a México y que siempre sean amables con todos, que disfruten la oportunidad y que fue un gusto y un placer conocerte.
Visit Mexico, enjoy the chance to try to visit here. Be nice and respectful with everyone, and you will have such a great time. And ¿qué más? ¿Que los amas?
Y que los amo.
We love you.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Y que amo el verde.
Amo el verde. Sí, verde también.
Amo el verde. El verde es vida.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Loreli.
Mucho gusto. Muchas gracias por hablar con un gecko.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Okay. She was cool, man. Here, you can sit down and we can chat for a second.
Since the first time I asked her, like, hey, do you want to be interviewed? And she said, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. I was not expecting, like, the people who, I mean, we did, you know, we've got a lot of people who did not want to be on camera, but the people who said yes, like, a lot of times you'll get someone who says, like, yes, but they're, like, apprehensive, but the people who said yes, like, they were really into it, and they all had a very, like, you know, friendly, warm energy to them.
I guess, of course, there is, like, this barrier of the language that you must have to try to cross.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really difficult, but even the people who's like, Spanish speaker that will be watching this, they will. I mean, I guess you can notice that energy to be really open and just sit with you and talk.
Yeah.
Hola, ¿quieren hablar con un gecko? ¿Quieres hablar con un gecko?
Oh my god.
Take a seat.
Oh my god.
Hold the mic up to your mouth.
Can I take
Sí,
it?
sí.
Oh my god.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, mucho gusto.
You just sprinted over here.
I run like the whole city. I live in the very, very south.
Yeah.
Sorry, I live it like in the very, very south.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half.
You walked an hour and you're
run.
You're dude. Yeah, you have sweat.
Yes, a lot.
Dripping down your face.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I made an Instagram story saying I'm gonna be here for an hour.
Yep.
Or so.
Yes.
And you must have saw it, and you sprinted here.
The whole fucking it's like 20 kilometers.
Oh
I don't know
my
how
God.
that's in. Sorry, I don't know how that's in miles, but it's like a fucking lot. Oh my god.
How do you feel right now? You look like you're about to have a heart attack.
Oh well, I'm not. Sorry, my English is like really broken.
Todos bien.
But I'm really fucking tired. I run like I get out of college, get to my home, about to chill, and then you pop up your story, and I was like, oh fuck, I need to take a shower and run like fucking now, and I made it.
You deserve this interview.
Yes. Well, I'm really happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too, man. I hope your face is red. I genuinely in this very moment, I feel so honored that you went through this much pain to come see me.
I was real sad because I saw your history like 4 hours later, and I said like, there's no fucking way. The rain was awful.
Yeah.
And you are. Well
so
done.
you live in the south. And
Yes.
where are we right now? Are we in the north or the?
It's like center, like the most.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. Like.
So you're sprinting, you're jumping over cars, you're like knocking over little kids.
No,
you're like, I gotta get to the Gecko.
It's not funny, much funnier because the transportation in Mexico is like fucking like a whole lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I was here like Tom Cruise, like one hand on the hanging for the fucking bus.
Yeah.
Like that, and then I go to one. The bus like it's like the British one.
Yeah.
Like, go faster, 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 and then run
God.
5 streets from the bus here.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I'm here because for you to show up looking like that, I mean, to not be here would be tragic.
Yes, I was like, I think I think I didn't make it because I was in the other side.
Yeah.
And I didn't see you, and I was like, fuck, I didn't make it.
So listen, you came a long way. It was a strenuous journey. And now it's okay if the answer is no, but did you have like a thing in particular that you wanted to talk about or say where that we're just like you're about to give out, you're like, oh, I need to stop for a break. No, I can't. I gotta go. I gotta say this thing on the Gecko show. What would that thing be?
Well, did you taste the normal tacos, like not the crunchy tortilla ones?
You know what I discovered? I discovered something in Mexico City, the tostada.
Oh yeah.
I know that they have them in the U.S. and shit, but I think they have them at Taco Bell or whatever. But I had one for the first time here.
Yes.
So good, man.
Yes.
So good.
Mexican food is delicious. One of my friends go to Canada and go to Taco Bell, and he said that the worst experience ever. Like the worst, like tacos. And well, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat meat. And vegetarian meat, I think, is way better than the Taco Bell. I never will get out of Mexico because I'm not very rich. And green card, well, to get a visa and passport, it's like impossible. So also there's this word in Spanish, estudiambre. It's a word game that combines a student and starving. It's like the best way to translate it. So I have like literally no money. I'm a starving student. Estudiambre. Estudiar, student, hambre, starving. Estudiambre.
Estudiambre.
Yes.
What are you studying?
Well, communication. Actually, your work is like, I don't know, like inspiration for me.
Thanks,
like
man.
to continue studying what I'm studying, because it's production. Well, communications in production, and I saw your reels on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is what I want to fucking make someday.
Fuck yeah.
Besides, Mexico City is one of the noisiest cities in the world.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrific.
I want to get back to you, to you, but first tell me what you love about Mexico City.
Well, it's really cheap.
Yeah.
Everything is really cheap. Well, this is going to be. I'm going to. I forgot the word. Well, my whole college is going to cost me like 25 cents. My whole college.
Your whole college is going to cost you 25 cents?
Yeah, well, less. It's like a peso, so it's like less than that. A peso is like 1.02 cents. It's like going to cost me that.
I have noticed when I came here, the U.S. dollar goes very far. Like, dude. Okay, so I live in L.A. and in Los Angeles the other day, I bought 2 slices of pizza for $16 US.
What? That's like, let me see. It's 6 fucking pizzas here, like huge pizzas.
No, the tostadas I got were like a couple US bucks. I mean, it was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably if I'm your interpret, they will like $1 the tostada. Or less. It's really, really cheap here in Mexico City. And that's what I love about Mexico. It's like really cheap.
So do you really go to school for like $1?
Like, well, like the payment for the whole semester. Yeah. It's like 0.5 pesos. And $1 is 20 pesos, so I'm not good at math because I'm studying communication, not math, but it's like really, really fucking cheap.
Yo, no, I love how cheap it is here, and also it's like, it's a cool city, man. Like I've really only been here for like not that very long, but I've gone to all the different like neighborhoods and whatnot, and there's a good diversity of like aesthetic and architecture and whatnot. It's really cool.
Also, this is like the prettiest part, like the more new one. You need to go to Coyoacán.
I'm gonna go to Coyoacán tomorrow.
Well, I live like around there.
Okay.
I could be like your tour guide if you want.
If I need a translator tomorrow, I'll let you. Did you DM me with the thing?
Yes, of course. Okay. I'm like really fucking happy to be here, and
no,
like
genuinely, like you seeing how you like fucking sprinted over here to come. It's making me very happy. I appreciate that.
Yes, because I really, really love your work.
Thank you, man.
Yes, it's like I'm like I don't know, like sad evening and I upload a video. Yeah. And you also help me to practice my listening because well, this is my English, but I learn everything like for watching videos on YouTube, Netflix, and it's like that's like the normal way the people talk. It's not like yes, I need a pencil. It's probably I'm never going to use that in like the real life.
Tell me more about your work. Okay, so you are in communications. You said that you want to do something like this. What do you like want to do ultimately?
I don't know. It's like I like a lot of things, and my professor said this career is about drinking wine and not a lot of things. So
your professor said, what is he a professor of?
Theory in communications.
He said that your professor at communications said that his career is about drinking wine.
And knowing stuff. Like, about everything.
That's that fucking Game of Thrones thing, right?
Yes.
I drink and I know things.
Yes, basically.
I feel like journalism, isn't it about not knowing things? I don't know shit about journalism,
Well, here in Mexico, yes, because if you know a lot of things, I'll probably be killed. Because if
you know too much, that's how you get killed.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
But what I mean is like, don't you go in like pretending as if you know nothing, and so you ask all these questions to know the stuff?
Well, I'm just curious, and I like to learn a lot of things. So when that professor said that phrase, I was like, I guess I choose right.
What is your ultimate thing to journalize? What would be your dream story to break? Your dream topic to cover?
Well, maybe video games or music, because that's the two things I like the most.
I'm gonna tell you that if you have it in you if you see something you want to do, like you're like, oh, the Gecko is at this place, and he's gonna be there for an hour, and I'm exactly an hour away, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna sprint.
Hour and a half.
If you're approaching the rest of your life the way that you approached coming here to meet me today, I think you're gonna be more than fine. I think you're gonna be very successful.
I hope so, because, well, I break the laws of physics coming here. Like,
you really did.
I saw Google Maps, hour and a half, and I was like, fuck! And also transportation takes it could be 20 minutes until the bus passes. No. I go to the bus stop, and I was like, faster, come! And 5 seconds later, the bus comes, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to make it.
Dude, what's your name again?
Ezra,
I'm very honored to meet you, man.
I'm very honored to meet you.
I'll shake your sweaty hand, dude. I'm honored to shake your sweaty hand.
Thanks.
Again, this is so crazy. Thank you for coming all this way to meet me, man. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
I made it, guys. I run the whole fucking city.
Maybe your future is not in journalism, but in some sort of athletics.
My knee's really fucked up. There's a joke in Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be a professional football player, but my knee got fucked up, so now I'm like a normal people.
Oh, is the joke that your knee is not fucked up?
My knee is fucked up, for everything. I'm not going to be a journalist because my knee fucked up.
Well, like I said, if you're approaching the rest of your life the way that you approached coming here, I think that you are going to be more than fine in your future pursuits.
Thanks.
Thanks for talking to a gecko, man.
No, thanks for
I'm
coming.
honored that you would come here. ¿Cómo te llamas?
José.
José? What are you up to here in the park?
¿Qué haces ahorita aquí en el parque?
Estoy caminando. I'm walk.
Caminando, walking.
Oh, just walking. Do you think about things while you walk around?
¿Piensas sobre cosas cuando caminas?
Yes.
¿En qué piensas?
What kind of things do you think about when you walk around?
Lo puedes decir todo en español y yo lo traduzco.
Okay. Yo pienso en el destino.
He thinks about destiny.
You think about your destiny. Interesting. What do you think your destiny is?
¿Cuál crees que sea tu destino?
Pues ahora iba al mercado del artesano.
Right now he's going to the artisanal market.
He just said he was thinking about his destiny. What? You said is that what he said? He said he was thinking about his destiny?
¿Crees que ese es tu destino?
El más inmediato.
It's the most immediate destiny.
The most immediate destiny. Okay, that makes sense. Pero en el futuro, destiny. What is your destiny for the future?
¿Cuál es tu destino para el futuro?
I don't have idea.
He said he doesn't have an idea?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that you want for your destiny?
¿Hay algo que quieras para tu destino?
Happiness.
Happiness. Okay. Ahora, what gives you happiness hoy?
¿Qué es lo que te da felicidad hoy, ahora?
The music, the books, the movies.
Okay, music, books, movies. What do you do for work?
¿A qué te dedicas? ¿Cuál es tu trabajo?
I work at a coffee in the park.
A café. Encuentras a más personas a café. Interesante personas. You talk to a lot of different people at the cafe.
¿Hablas con mucha gente en el café?
Okay. Anyone particularly interesting that you've met at the cafe recently?
¿Alguien particularmente interesante que hayas conocido en el café recientemente?
Every day, it's people interesting in the coffee. Actors.
Actors. Okay.
Writers.
Awesome, man. Do you want to be a writer or an actor or an artist of some kind? Is that in your destiny?
¿Tú quieres ser un escritor o actor o algún artista? ¿Eso está en tu destino?
Me agrada la idea.
He likes the idea.
He likes the idea. ¿Qué tipo de arte? What type of art?
Hip hop music.
Hip hop music. Okay. ¿Qué te gusta en hip hop artista?
¿Qué artistas de hip hop te gustan?
Yeah.
Wise, Natch, Lil Supa, Nas, NWA, Eminem.
Eminem. Nice.
Se habla de various artists.
If you were to make hip hop music, what kinds of subjects would you want to talk about in your music?
Si hicieras música hip hop, ¿de qué temas te gustaría hablar en tu música?
Love, people, society.
What about society?
¿Qué es sobre la sociedad?
Conflicts, solutions.
Conflict solutions? What kinds of conflicts are you hoping to solve?
¿Qué tipo de conflictos te gustaría resolver?
Ideológicos.
Ideological. Ideological.
Ideological. Ideological conflicts. What does that mean?
¿A qué te refieres con conflictos ideológicos?
Hablar sobre las mentes cerradas y lograr abrirlas.
To talk about closed minds and being able to open them.
Okay, qué bonito. How do you open someone's mind?
¿Cómo abres la mente de alguien?
With art.
With art. Okay. I think you will open many minds in the future. I'm gonna manifest that for your destiny.
Cree que vas a abrir muchas mentes en el futuro. Va a manifestar eso para tu destino.
Ojalá.
What did you say?
Ojalá I hope so.
¿Alguien más quieres hablar a las personas de computadora? Is there anything else? I don't know if I fucking said that right. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer?
¿Algo más que le quieras decir a la gente de la computadora?
Listen to me in YouTube, Enzo.
Where was that energy this whole time? You've been all like this the whole time, and then when you had the opportunity to show off your YouTube, you all of a sudden opened up. I think you're hiding something from us.
¿Dónde estuvo esta energía todo este tiempo? Te estuviste como muy cerrado y en el momento que pudiste dirigir tu YouTube, o sea, tú sientes que estás escondiendo algo de él.
Mi corazón es tímido.
What do you say?
His heart is shy.
His heart is shy. Pero tienes mucho fucking hopes and dreams.
Tienes muchas esperanzas y sueños.
Más sueños que esperanzas.
What do you say?
More dreams than hopes.
Okay. What's your YouTube channel again? He was promoting his YouTube channel, right? What is it again?
¿Cuál es tu canal de YouTube otra vez?
Enzo.
What do you post on there?
¿Qué publicas en el YouTube?
My songs, videos.
Okay. I feel like I'm excited to check out your YouTube channel because I feel like I'm going to see a different side of you. I feel like I'm going to see you like pouring your heart out, you know. I'm excited because I know there's something in there.
Estoy emocionado de ver tu canal de YouTube porque creo que va a haber un lado diferente de ti, un lado más un lado diferente.
Okay. Thank you.
Gracias por hablar con un gecko.
Gracias, Gecko.
This has been Being a Gecko in Mexico City. It's been fun to travel to another place and talk to the people there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm a gecko, and I'll see you around on the internet at another time. Go do something else on the computer.